Welcome to the Kalikalos Season 2012 Leader Recordings. My name is Paul Harvey, and I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen. This is the first of 3 recordings with Dr. Helen Ford. Dr. Helen is a leading UK physician and healer with over 40 years of experience in alternative and conventional medicine. We join the conversation as Helen explains how she developed her skills and why she feels they are so important.
Started to read and look about, and I came across the Bach's books. Bach of the Bach flower remedies in his books were really good, and so I kind of followed on from there, and began to look at anybody who could teach me anything about more psychic perception of illness, the energy behind illness, and I found a teacher eventually, Puerto Rican teacher. He was really good at seeing energy. And great encouragement from him. Gradually learned that I could do it myself. Actually, probably have been doing it myself all my life without realizing it. And from then on, I've just kind of taught myself partly just by experience, experiment, until I've come to a pretty satisfactory way of sorting out what's going on with people that works very well for me. I can find out what's going on under the surface and what's making them ill and what led up to it and what went on in their childhood and in the womb, which is really important in deciding how people develop their negative patterns. It's got a system that works very well and I can use very effectively.
That's really good. Thank you for that. You teach this system, or you mainly use it as a diagnosis and treatment?
I use it and teach it.
Okay. And what would you define it as? Would you put a name to it?
Or a diagnosis.
And then, or a diagnosis, and then somehow, is there a treatment based on that?
The treatment is, I use a supportive treatment of homeopathic and flower remedies. I make everybody a potion. Sometimes I use essential oils. The main part of the treatment is for the person to understand what aspect of their true nature, or their soul, has been inhibited by the trigger, the negative trigger, or the traumatic experience, whatever, and what it is, and how they can bring it forward to restore it, to bring it back into their life. So the idea is that they go away with an understanding of what they personally can do to solve their own problem, whatever it is. And it does work. I mean, if people do it, they manage to encounter a situation or an illness or whatever it is that they've got, and they do it differently. They approach things differently, approach life differently, and the situation will resolve. It does require the person to take the initiative, and I personally like that because it empowers people, gives them the opportunity to be the master of their own lives, to make choices about how they're going to be, and to understand the choices they make are really powerful in deciding how their life works out. It gets rid of all this very passive attitude that often prevails, that it's all happening to us and illness just happens and it's nothing to do with anybody, and we have no power of our lives and we're at the mercy of the vagaries of fate or whatever else you want to think about.
Very empowering, as you say, very empowering.